our Global Construction Tech program. We are live from Paris for this innovation session. My name is Zineb. I'm a senior consultant at Impulse, and I will be your host today for this session focused on sustainability. Here's the agenda for today. We are very happy to welcome guest speakers from Shimizu Corporation and EMV Capital, followed by the pitch of 4 startups. There will be time at the end of the session for discussion. I also see a couple of familiar faces. Hello and good morning or afternoon to everybody. Before introducing our speakers for today, I'd like to say a few words about our Global Construction Tech program. As some of you may already know, we at Impulse have been passionate and dedicated to construction innovation for over a decade now. Our main goal is to speed up innovation in construction, real estate, energy, and infrastructure, and bring together key players like you of these sectors in a global scale. To do so, we have developed a global ecosystem of entrepreneurs, tech firms, VCs, and decision makers that play a vital role in accelerating innovation, driving economic growth, and solving complex societal challenges. We at Impulse today are bringing together companies from around the world to execute a global initiative to boost construction tech innovation, accelerate go-to-market strategies, but also help startups scale. Today, we support over 20 players around the world with their innovation challenges. Maybe quickly, we'd like to zoom in on one of our offers that we have been fostering recently, our accelerator programs. Here are 3 examples. For CRH Ventures, we have been focusing first on water management and all the challenges around that theme. We identified over 500 solutions worldwide among 110 applications. And the idea is to see the company collaborate with the startups. We are at the moment working also on an accelerator program focused this time on roads of the future. We did the same thing with Alice Dunn. It was more focused on market trends, and the idea was to have solutions for construction job sites. We had 100 startups which applied, 8 were selected for a pitch day, and 3 had entered discussions with Alice Dunn operating teams to plan a pilot. And finally, concerning Barton Mallow, the challenges areas were far more specific. They needed solutions that help automate labor-intensive processes. So we have been able to identify a little bit more than 50 solutions, of which 25 apply to the program. And we have planned a pitch day with 8 solutions so that they can incorporate these technologies through pilot programs, improving efficiency and costs on their job sites. The idea is that we tailor to all scopes of problems, no matter how narrow or wide, understanding the opportunities, then capitalizing on solutions in structured and manner approach. We have been able to doing so thanks to our identification and qualification of over 3,000 startups that we have been helping for their collaborations between the corporate groups, investors, but also some entrepreneurship programs of our clients. And multiple investment deals have been involved. This was just an overview of our activity. But if you are interested in learning more about what we do, please do not hesitate to reach out to our team. So coming up today, we are really glad to hear first a presentation from Ilya Ilyev, Managing Director at EMV Capital, followed by Rina Takahashi, Associate at Novaya Innovation Center from Shimizu Corporation. Then we'll have the opportunity to hear from 4 startups, which will be presenting Holodeck for Alberto Alcaran Garcia, the CEO. Then Lawrence Van Graffel, the CEO and founder of Sustainable, will present the company and their activities. We'll also hear presentations from the CSO, Valentina Rojas, who will be also showcasing the company and their activities at Flexo Fibers. And finally, we'll have Josh Graham, the CEO of EAB. At the end of each presentation, you will also, of course, have a few moments for Q&A and open discussion. Please use the chat or directly activate your microphones. I do invite you all to mute your microphones during the presentation and only activate it at the end if that is okay with you. So to begin, I'm very glad to welcome Ilian Iliev from EMV Capital. Ilian, I'm not sure he has already connected. I think he'll join. Well, if that's okay with all of you, we'll start maybe with Shimizu Corporation and with Rina. The floor is yours. Let's begin with you.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rina Takahashi from Shimizu Corporation, and I'd like to thank you, first of all, for Impulse Partners to have me as a guest speaker. And today I would like to talk about our facilitation, Novale, and also what we are doing at Novale. So let me share my screen first. I'm sure you can see my screen. Okay. So, okay, so let me start. So as you may know or you may not know, so our company's name is Shimizu Corporation, and we established in 1804. So this year, 2024, is 220 years anniversary for us. And so our business segment is, of course, building and also civil engineering, but we are also have projects in overseas. And also we have real estate development department, also engineering and emerging frontier, which is expanding to ocean and also space. So you may see this graph and you can see the trends in construction investment in Japan. So in 1992, the amount of construction investment was in peak, but after 20 years, it was reduced by half, 50%. And it was bottom in 2010, right here. But after that, you can see the slightly change in a trend, but it was because of these three segments. One is Abenomics, and also we had a huge earthquake in 2011, so we had a recovery needs for that. And also urban redevelopment was a big trend after the huge earthquake happened. But as you may know, we have challenges surrounding Japan and also its construction industry. One is aging society. So by 2040, the population age 65 and over will be 35% of the total population. And also we have a challenge for labor shortage. By 2030, a shortage of 32,000 construction engineers and also 232,000 skilled construction workers is expected. So predicting a steady rise in construction investment is challenging for us. So in Japan, we have big 5 players. So these are top 5 general contractors. Shimizu is actually one of them. But we are also, these 5 companies are also challenging as we are calling commodity. So here that buildings that are made to order become commoditized. So major developers do not prioritize among contractors. So Shimizu's originality is needed. And so I'm right here. I'm right now with in the room with my boss. You may see in the group. Maybe you can see here. He is Mr. Kato. Kato-san, he was in the head office of London, Shimizu Corporation London office. And he experienced mega trends in Europe. One is decarbonization, and the other one is digital transformation. So in order to follow these trends, so Shimizu needed to collaborate to promote the expansion of core technologies and also create collaboration that leads to new business models, contributing to diversification and internationalization. And so this is the facility called Novare. Actually, I am right now talking with you guys from this building in the center. So we launched Novare in September 2023, which is last year. And this department brings together all the company's innovation efforts and also drives collaboration. This facility is located in Koto, Tokyo. So it's actually 10 minutes ride from Tokyo Station. So if you have any chance to come to Tokyo, please visit us. So we are aiming to build an environment where innovations emerge one after another. So we are positioning Novare as one of the key hubs in the Tokyo startup scene. As you may see in the picture, this is Novare Forum, which is the event space. We can accommodate up to 150 people. Actually, in the next month, we are having Sushi Tech Tokyo, which is the global convention in Tokyo, and partnering up with Impulse Partners, we are having an event at Novare. And also to be a hub for global collaboration, actually we welcomed Flanders Investment and Trade from Belgium, and we had a pitch event in Novare. And as a group, we are promoting 2 programs to foster collaboration with startups. One is Shimizu Next on the left, and the other one is Novare Boost on the right side. We are seeking mutual benefits through the implementation of collaborative proof of concept POC initiatives. Let me elaborate what we are doing with startup. So this is the first project with British startup Geist. Geist has achieved several practical results, mainly with local authorities in the UK, and they are part funded by the British Bankers Association and others. So partnering up with Geist and also with our group company, Nippon Road, since 2019, we have co-created business in Japan. We have done 2 POC, one in Yokosuka and one in Yamanashi. And also, not only in Japan, but also overseas project, we have a business cooperation in Uganda. In August 2019, an MOU was signed with the Ugandan government during TICAD 7. And then also in 2021, we were entrusted with the survey work by the Ministry of them, and it was conducted by them. Let me show you some other examples. We have collaborated with Halutian, which is the Finnish startups, and they are building the digital twins of the office spaces. And since the COVID immersed in Japan as well, we have introduced this Halutian's technology into our companies. And also we are planning to sell it to other Japanese market. And also we collaborated with not only overseas startup, but also Japanese startup, Golem. And we developed a carbon footprint calculator for buildings. As I mentioned earlier, this is the framework of the Shimizu Next. So we presented 7 things it desires and began recruiting startups in 2022. So theme is construction, urban design, and resilience, and also environment and energy. So 80 applications we received, and we selected 16 partner companies. And meetings have been held with each company individually to discuss POC. The aim is to achieve meaningful collaboration and to facilitate the continuity of the program and establish an internal framework for co-creation. Activities have shifted to Novare. Let me show you some examples of co-creation with Shimizu Next. So this is one of the new emerging startups, which is expecting to be a first unicorn in Japanese market, TBM. So with TBM, we established a recycling model for waste plastics, which have been produced in a construction site. On the right side, we have Widomo, which is the Polish startup, and they have a high resolution underground technology, and we are planning to build a map infrastructure for underground. Also, Platio, they are a Hungarian startup, and we are planning to implement their solar panels on the building that we are building right now in Nagoya Prefecture. And also Switzerland, Drupal, they're a startup from Switzerland, and they have the technology to visualize water consumption and water quality management. And also we are planning to install them in here a lot. So as you may see, we have a lot of POCs going on, and we actually a small group. So we are doing this activity flow, starting from information gathering, and also connecting with startup and also startup ecosystem from overseas. And not only gathering, but also we are teaming up internally, and we are heading to the hands-on development and also incorporating into actual projects. Also, I'd like to introduce here our Novare project, which is called Novare Boost. This is an approved project by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, and we built a wide window that allows entry from any stage of startups. And if you type Novare Boost, you can see our English website. So you may see the framework of this project. Let me explain briefly. So it doesn't have to be a company, or you can have any ideas. And we have the program called Noroshi Tokyo, which is driven with AI. If you type any idea, you can produce business planning, also pitch deck, LP, using technology of AI. And as a Shimizu Corporation, we are helping you to to host and do the POC at our assets. Also, Shimizu Corporation have independent CVC. Since the launch of CVC in 2020, we have invested in various startups and budget size about 60 million euro in 10 years. So to wrap up my presentation, all I want to say is let's co-create together. Shimizu Kensetsu, Shimizu Corporation, we have 200 years of craftsmanship, and also we have a legacy of technology, trust, and research excellence. And also other works, which is the partner we are doing Novare Boost. They have business ideation that resonates with aspiring entrepreneurs worldwide. So from ideation to pilot testing and global expansion, we are your partners every step of the way. So leverage Shimizu's assets to propel your growth journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rina, for this very insightful presentation. And hi to Kate. Does anyone have any question for Shimizu Corporation and Novare, or Novare Boost to the program?
Hi, Lawrence van Gravenland here from Sustainable. Thanks for the presentation. I saw a company coming by that you're doing a proof of concept with that is recycling plastics. There was one company. What type of plastics do they recycle?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
The company that you are working with, the startup company that is recycling plastics. Which type of plastics are they recycling?
So the type of plastic is actually, we are still in the process of what kind we need to collect, because obviously the plastic from the construction site is quite dirty with all the concretes and sands. So what we did in the feasibility test here is that the film of the exterior panel. So it's relatively clean, and the kind that we can collect from the site is only one. So that was, it's a small step, but we are trying to widen the variety of plastics in the future. Do I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for the question. Any other questions before we move on to the startups? Of course, feel free to type them down on the chat, and we can also take a moment at the end to ask all the questions we need. Okay, so let's move on to this. Thank you a lot, Rina. Talk soon. Let's begin the startups presentations with Alberto introducing us Hydrex H1 technology, which cuts carbon emissions and building costs by over 50%, streamlining construction and boosting sustainability. Hi, Alberto.
Hi, how are you?
Great, and you?
So, okay, well, I will begin my presentation. Thank you for the invitation. I'm going to share my screen right now. Well, okay, let's begin. Holdec is the, we manufacture the molds to make the most efficient concrete structure that can be done. I repeat, most efficient concrete structure that can be done. We base in optimum geometry that is a compromise between structural fire regulation and optimal design, as I will explain, as you can see in this picture. Is it possible to make a structure that use less concrete and steel? If we compare with a conventional solid slab, that is the conventional way of doing things, we save up to 60% of concrete. As we save so much concrete, the building weight less, and we save up to 45 of steel. We save 20% of the total height of the building because we introduce the services inside the structure. So you are saving 8. We save foundation and columns 45% because we save the half of the weight of the building, and we save facades and partitions because we reduce the height of the building, and of course we can save other constructive elements like suspended ceilings or any additional element because we integrate services and structure. If we put together all these savings, we can be talking about reducing 20% of the total cost of the building, 20% of the total cost of the building, and around 40% of total embodied carbon. Here you can see an example. No, it's a 19-meter span with just 60% less consumption than a conventional slab. That's the reason, and we integrate all the services inside, so we are saving 8. That's the reason we got the Innovation Award of the Council of Tall Building and Urban Habitat. It's easy to repair, easy to maintain. Well, it has a lot of advantages that you can see in this picture. This is the building tower I'm showing you. We have developed Holdex Zero, but basically it's taking all the advantages of Holdex together to get the most efficient building that can be made. No? This is another example. This is a building in Sacramento where we were reducing 5 to 4 stories. And the reduction of the total cost was 19%, and of the total embodied carbon 40%. With this concept of Holdex Zero that is used for the whole project, we want to talk to developers and work in turnkey collaborative projects where they can take all these advantages together. We have a wide range of products. We began with a two-way system. Then we continue with a one-way system where we kind of develop different sizes. And we are developing precast systems. We are developing mixed with timber. We are developing customized structures. We are developing some innovations about services. And the range of spans of Holdex right now it comes from 6 to 22 meters. So we can build any kind of building, from housing to industrial offices, anything, because the range of spans. We can post-tension and we can make it in a conventional way. Our molds are like Lego blocks. They are stackable, they are reusable, they are very light, they are very easy to handle, and they can be done by anybody. It's like very conventional everything, no? Related with the construction industry. The services can be integrated in a very easy way and different configurations. And the amazing thing is that if we compare even with, not only with concrete, but with steel, we can have a similar weight of a structure, have a similar weight of the stress, because we we have copied the geometric configuration of the steel. And if we compare with wood, the amazing thing is that we can compete in carbon emissions. And I'm going to try to explain why. Well, so we have optimized geometry, and we have, and if we use, for example, low emissions material, we can even get better numbers. This is a real example of a built building. This is the wood solution. This is the Holdex solution that we manufacture. And if we use low emissions concrete, we can even reduce more the total emissions of the building. This was made by BIS engineers. It's not one of studies. Okay, the numbers are amazing. No, if we save around 30 to 40% of the bed carbon, it could mean a saving in the global total emissions of 2%. That is the emissions of all Germany together. The market is very interested in this kind of solutions. The green funds and all the policies worldwide, they are working in this direction, as you know. And our technology is patented worldwide, and it's very easy to scale because we use manufacturing injection technology. The shipping and logistics is very easy. Just with a container or 2 containers, you can make a whole building. We use non-specialist man labor and conventional materials, conventional steel and concrete. And we give all the technical assistance that is required worldwide. The scale of the industry is huge. 230 billion of square meters are going to be built worldwide. And there is needing to technologies like this. And what we need a visionary partner to scale the technology worldwide. We can talk with manufacturers of low emissions concrete, with developers, with other industrial companies that are working in this kind of solution, and we are open to any partnership. The growing of the company has been very important since 2020 because it's the moment when we develop our one-way technology that is called H1. And we have built more than 100,000 square meters worldwide. This is the beginning with the two-way system. We have developed the one-way system. For example, this is a core and shell building for research and development company and each company make their own fit out, like these pictures. As you can see here, it's very economic solution, as you can imagine. You're saving a lot of elements, of the construction elements. This is the headquarters of La Roche Pharmaceutic, and this is the structure just finished. But they have left like this. They have left the structure like this. They are because the aesthetic of the structure is the finish, and the aesthetic of the structure is very nice. We are making with small depths. We don't place holes. We use the same technology without holes, and we are using post-tension technology to make very efficient structures compared with conventional slabs. This is a huge building we have recently finished in Madrid. Well, this is the tower I have shown you before in Barcelona. We have work in United States. We have work in Latin America. We have built some buildings already there. And we are working in thermal activation technology. We have already built one building with this technology that is very interesting for the future. We have work in refurbishment. We have work in industrial buildings. We have work in housing. Basically, Holdex is our philosophy is we are economic because we reduce elements, and so that's the reason because we are sustainable. Our philosophy is basically doing more with less material. That's all. Thank you for.
Thank you very much, Alberto, for this very interesting presentation of Holodeck. Does anyone in the audience have any questions? And of course, we'll be able to give you all the contacts of the speakers for today. So either type down.
I have to leave for a meeting right now, so I can stay later. So if anybody wants to make any question, the moment I think the moment is right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Alberto. If we
Thank
have
you.
it, we'll send it over and we'll send your contact. Thanks.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Talk soon. Bye. And before having Lawrence present us sustainable, I'd like to welcome Ilyan Ilev from EMV Capital. Hi, Ilyan. Thank you so much for being here with us. Ilyan is managing director at EMV Capital, VC investor specialized in early stage deep tech B2B companies, and which has a collaboration with longtime Impulse partner Shibumi International. Hi, Ilyan, and thank you for being here. The floor is yours. I am not sure Ilyan can hear us. Yes, you can.
Hi. Sorry, I've been having IT troubles on my side. How are you?
Great.
Okay. Okay, good. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, not full screen, but yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry for the delay once again. Great to meet you all, and thank you for Impulse Partners for organizing this great event. We're a big fan of the great work you're doing in the construction industry and the amazing ecosystem that you built. Sometimes you make it look as easy as skiing on a black slope, but we know how much hard work goes behind that. So I'll tell you a little bit about us and our model, and also about some of the companies we have in the construction tech space. So we are a deep tech investor. We're based in London, but with an international focus. We have a mixture of businesses in the UK, EU, US, and Israel. Our focus primarily has developed around hardware and hardware enabling software companies, if you will, which, as you know, are not too popular in the venture capital space, but we found a niche for ourselves to develop a strategy there. So we're looking for companies with deep tech focused, strong IP, strong barriers to entry, and also mostly in the industrial space. We also have a life sciences side. As I'll talk through this, you'll see the way we work is we plug into different pools of capital that are appropriate in this space, while also working closely with corporate VCs. A little bit unique to us is that we are both a listed company on the London Stock Exchange. We're a small cap. That group is called Net Scientific PLC. And underneath that, there's a EMV Capital as a fully owned subsidiary that does the venture capital investments alongside the listed parent company. We have a multidisciplinary team of roughly 14 in London. I lead the business and alongside my colleagues. And as I mentioned, we have a focus on the hard stuff around industrial sustainability as well as life sciences. Interestingly, as we built our business, we found some surprising, or perhaps not surprising, similarities between medtech and life sciences on the one side, on the other hand, industrials. How can that be? Well, they're both very much driven by regulatory barriers or regulatory enablers. They tend to have often long gestation periods. They involve a lot of capital, and they behave in a different way to SaaS and digital businesses. They require their own unique sets of strategies, and of course, they're all driven by strong IP barriers and understanding of the technology. Within our portfolio, we have everything from recent university spinouts to, in one case, a NASDAQ-listed company, and quite a few companies in between. We also a LP invest in Martlet Capital, which is an early-stage Cambridge VC business, from where we get a lot of our deal flow for the next stage of our development. Now, again, within our framework, we are not just the money. We've borrowed from the private equity industry we've borrowed from the private equity industry some of the tools that enable investors to drive change in their companies. So on the one hand, we create what we call capital efficient investment strategies, which involve a little bit of our money, syndicating investment from others, as well as access to corporate VC. But we combine that with our value creation services side, where we help companies in placing senior executives, in accessing international markets. And we actually have an in-house team that does that for the businesses. So what's our investment focus? Well, as I've said several times, companies with a strong focus on IP. Before EMV Capital, I set up a company called Cambridge IP, where we built a whole offering around IP, patent landscaping, maximizing the use of IP. So that is part of our DNA, again, somewhat unique for VC. In terms of the stage of entry, we look at technologies that are already developed, proven, close to commercialization. We are comfortable with pre-sales. We tend to want to look at which are the use cases that you've identified, are there pilots on the way? And we sort of specialize on the point before a technology becomes mainstream, because we feel we can add a lot of value in that at that point of the business. You know, obviously to you, but perhaps not to the outside world, there is really a lot of ESG impact in our focus on industrials and the built environment itself. There's just so much to do in this industry, so much to modernize, so much best practice to bring, and as it happens, most of that brings environmental benefits, energy efficiencies, and overall improvements in technology in the industry. Our approach works. In the 3 years since we launched Net Scientific as part of EMV Capital, we have increased fair value of our overall portfolio by 3.6 times. And here's a few examples of our portfolio companies, how their value has grown. Again, it's the combination of financial drivers and value creation services that we feel does the trick. And as this is a construction tech focused presentation, I should mention one of our very interesting companies, Qbot, which some of you have met. So we backed Qbot when there were a university spin out with 3 employees now many years ago. And what we liked about them is that it was not just a university project with robots, there's many of those, but rather they had identified a specific problem within the construction industry, which in the UK is retrofitting insulation for old inefficient English homes, of which there are many, if you've lived in the UK. They looked at that as a package, and this is what attracted us. And when we look at other businesses in industrials and construction tech, you know, we're taking this formula. Yes, it's about the technology, but actually it's about your overall understanding of the problem you're going to solve and what is the total package. And more often than not, the total package is a combination of a technology, a product. Yes, we want it to be strongly protected by IP, but also it ends up having a service element. You know, how is it that you get to the end point? The construction industry is notoriously conservative. So how are you, Mr. Inventor, going to take your technology and lead to rapid adoption in this space? And the road is long. You know, we've learned that and we're comfortable with it. Just our strategy has evolved around that. So with Qbot, you know, where we are now, again, quite a few years further down the line, this presentation says 2,500. Since then, we now have 5,000 installations in the UK and internationally. All of them are kind of very few returns, let's say, very few client complaints. But the other thing that we've learned with our work with Qbot is the vastness of the market. You can't scratch it. So again, it just works in a different way for certain industry. Qbot will not be able to eat that whole market by itself. So immediately you start thinking about, well, which are the go-to-market partnerships? Who is it that you're going to scale with? There are differences between countries, so how are you going to adapt your service, even if your product stays the same, when you launch in France, when you launch in the US? And this is where partnerships are so important that we have found. Again, things that many of you businesses have found themselves. And the last thing that we found, which is quite good, partly because the industry is conservative, partly because it is large but conservative, partly because there isn't that much visibility in the VC space. Actually, you can do a lot in this space if you find the right niche without new competitors coming along. So you do get a nice lead, which in other industries that are a lot more fast, you just don't get that competitive edge, which is a good thing. The bad thing is that there's less attention by the VC community, but we think that is changing. I mean, that's it briefly. We work as part of a community. There's only so much we can do ourselves. The problems we're facing are vast. So we work with relationships in several high-tech clusters in Cambridge, in Israel, and of course in the UK more broadly, but also a few clusters in Europe. We work with various co-investors, VC funds, of course, but also family offices. In this space, we find most of the family offices internationally have a strong property portfolio, strong property angle. They can all intuitively relate to what we're doing in the construction tech space. So that helps. And what I don't have on this slide is we also have a very strong relationship with Shibumi Ventures, which is another partner of Impulse, where we're looking at combining our efforts in growing in this space. And last but not least, a number of corporates with whom we've transacted or helped build licensing deals. So I think I'll stop at that and take any questions.
Thanks a lot, Ilyan. Very interesting presentation of EMV Capital. Does anyone have any questions? As always, feel free to write them down in the chat. I know it's always difficult in the online sessions to ask questions, but it's okay. Well, thanks a lot, Ilyan. Thanks for taking the time.
And I'll just add, for those of you looking to renovate a kitchen, the next presentation is absolutely going to solve your problem. So
thank you, Ilyan.
Thanks, Ilyan. Hi, Lawrence. Thanks for being here. Well, yes, we are very glad to have you with us so that you can present us Sustainable, which has developed and patented the process for producing composite stone material bonded by recycled PET bottles. The floor is yours.
Yeah, great. Shall I share it myself?
Oh, you can.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for giving the opportunity to present, and I will show you presentation. So yeah, my name is Laurens van Graafland. Do you see my presentation?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So thanks. Yeah, I'm Laurens van Graafland. I'm CEO and founder of Sustainable. So I guess everybody is aware that there's an enormous plastic waste problem ending up in the environment. A lot of plastic bottles and other types of plastic waste, like said before, from construction sites, etc., ending up in the environment, in the beaches, in the shores, on the street. See it everywhere. And that is one of the things we have started to try to find a solution for already some time ago. And on the other hand, there's also a lot of construction waste, which is generated. It's the biggest waste stream, around 30% in the European Union comes from construction and demolition waste. So all of this creates an enormous carbon footprint. And so we have tried to find a nice solution for that. And I'm already showing you here a picture. Basically, what Sustainable is, we mix post-consumer recycled PET from plastic bottles, the non-food grade type, and we mix it with minerals. We try to use as much as possible recycled minerals like recycled glass, but also some other natural stone minerals. And we make a surface material out of it. Well, here it's pulled up. A surface material which is thin, strong. It can be used for all types of applications. And here I'm showing you a nice example. It's a yacht manufacturer in Dubai that uses our material for different applications in one product, a very nice long-range yacht, Nomad 101. On the left, you see it's being used for the kitchen tops and a small kitchen stand backsplash. And in the middle, you can see in the bathroom, on the floor, on the wall, all these marble vein type of materials that's sustainable. Also the vanity top, and on the right you will even see a tabletop. It's all in the same yacht, so that is a very nice example. Apart from the kitchen tops, we also have more and more interest for wall panels. Here you can see a large commercial restroom in the biggest convention center in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, the Rai Convention Center. Our material was used for the restroom, the wall panels, because they like sustainability also to show more in their facilities and to reduce the carbon footprint, basically. You can see a nice example in a private bathroom. It's our friend Di Terrazzo, also for wall panels. It's easy to clean, etc. So it's very easy to use. Apart from that, indeed, you can also order a kitchen top if you contact me after the meeting. So here I show some nice showcases. On the left, it's a holiday home, a very large holiday home for 24 people in Belgium, and they combine it with some very nice cabinets, actually made in a social place by people that are a little bit further away from the market. And in the middle, you can see a social house, affordable housing project. On the right, it's a commercial project where they have a vanity top as well. So as you can see, there are a lot of application possibilities. Here you see a vanity top made fully out of sustainable material. And I had one more. Let me see. Is it still okay? It's not moving anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The presentation is not.
Case study.
Let me
see your screen. Yeah.
Is it still on the same page?
Yeah, office, restroom, and private house.
All right. I'm sorry. So okay, I'll just continue with the presentation.
Do you want us to show the rest of the slides?
Yeah, I have. I will stop sharing it and share it one more time.
All right.
So, because now somehow it's stuck. It's a little bit big presentation. Yeah, but basically, what? Yeah. You have 1 minute. Sorry, I'm restarting my PowerPoint.
Yeah, no worries. You can continue. We'll show the slides. We have them.
Okay. It's also you have the great. Can you go to Can you go to slide number where I was? Yeah.
You're here.
All right. Okay, so there was one more showcase for tabletops that I wanted to share. Also was referenced in Finland in a fair used for show models, which is a nice application. So what, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, as the USP, so basically we've achieved a recycled content of up to 70%. The material is very thin and strong and lightweight. If you compare it to traditional stone surface materials, that's a huge advantage, especially in the transport, logistics, handling, etc. But still, we can have it look in the same way as a traditional countertop by V-grooving it and by making a mitered edge detail. On the other hand, it's still also affordable because the price level is very competitive with traditional stone materials. So can you go to the next slide? I'm not sure where we are now because I don't see the presentation, but I'll just continue.
We have the video.
The video, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we spent quite some time in R&D and development up to the situation now that we have a medium scale demonstration line up and working, and we can produce 200,000 square meters annually. It's located in Turkey. We found a very good partner in Gülemak, an industrial large contractor that builds metro lines in several places in the world, and we were supported by Shibumi as well, and they offered us a team and the location there, and we started up in Turkey. We're supplying now to Europe and the United States. It's a kind of a proof of concept demonstration line for our next plans. Did you? Is it already finished?
It's finishing now.
Great. I don't see it myself. So it's a continuous process, basically extrusion process. First step, which is efficient. Then we do a polishing step after that, and as a third part, we have a very good technology to make designs, unlimited designs. So we have quite some flexibility there. Yeah, so it's a proof of concept demonstration line, still quite big still, so we can supply a big part of the market, but it has its limitations. The width is 80 centimeter, and also capacity, obviously. So we want to already start thinking about expanding. Of course, we need to grow our commercial traction more. We need to have more. We like to have more products on the market, more pilots, more projects first, and to grow the team. So that's why we are fundraising. We're looking for partnerships. We are looking for projects, and we'd like to grow a bit more in the coming period, 6 to 12 months, I would say, to go to a second line, first commercial scale line, where we also make a wider material, which is really something in the market we hear often, to be able to compete even more with traditional products. We have our ideas to set it up in the Netherlands. That is for advanced idea, and yeah, I'm very happy to be able to talk here to the community of the construction area. I think we have we can make a nice cooperation with some of the companies here. So if you're interested, please contact me after the presentation, and I'll leave it at this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. Very interesting presentation of Sustainable. And does anyone have any questions before we move on? Not just yet. So of course, we'll send all the info about Sustainable and Lawrence Thanks again. And I'm very glad to welcome Valentina Rojas, CSO of Flexo Fibers, which produces second life steel fibers for concrete reinforcement, sourced from recycled tires, enhancing concrete toughness and sustainability in construction. Hi, Valentina.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Well, good morning and afternoon in Asia. Thank you so much, Impulse Partners, for organizing this event and the opportunity. I think I'm gonna share my screen. I know that you have the presentation, but it's gonna be easier for me to share it.
All right.
Let me give it a try. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you for the presentation. My name is Valentina Rojas. I am the Chief Strategy Officer of Flexo Fibers, and I'm here to showcase our company. We are a Spanish-based company, and we're basically here to unlock the potential of second life steel fibers from tire waste in the construction industry. We consider ourselves as pioneers in technology development, not manufacturers, but technology development dedicated to transform materials sourced from end-of-life objects into valuable resources. In other words, we transform waste into second life steel fibers that are sustainable. The company has two areas that we focus. On one side, we have the research and development area that is focused on cutting edge technologies and patents development to add value to materials. And on the other side, we have the service department that gives technical and technological advisory services to licensees to exploit, to optimize patent exploitation. So, yes, I have an issue here. Okay, so why do we exist? There is a global environmental concern regarding tire waste. Around 3,700,000 tons of tire waste are being generated in the European Union yearly. And that amount contains 600,000 tons of steel fibers, which all of them go directly to steel foundries. And in that process, more than 1 million tons of CO2 are being emitted only in steel fiber consumption in the European Union. So I guess it's now not surprise for anyone what we face, the problem that we're facing nowadays, and which is why we exist, that we're trying to solve. Also, 500,000 tons of steel fibers are being consumed only for concrete reinforcement in the European Union. So there's a huge opportunity there. And half of it, it's being imported from Asia. So we came up with a technology, we developed a technology, a state-of-art technology that transforms steel waste from end-of-life tires that you can see here into second life products. We are focused now on steel fibers, the fibers that you see here in this picture, but in the future, we are planning to develop technology that recovers also rubber and other materials that come from end-of-life tires. These steel fibers go into the construction industry for concrete reinforcement in different applications. So after 5 years, the steel fiber that is in the tire becomes a second life material for another 40 years because it goes into the concrete. And that's why we basically exist. We're the only circular economy fiber that it's currently in the market. So our value proposition, we basically have almost zero carbon footprint in our process line. We are 20 times lower than any other conventional fiber of the market, because in the steel fiber manufacturing conventional process, all the stages or the steps generate a lot of CO2. We save all those stages, and we reached almost, as you can see here, zero carbon footprint in our production process. We also give second life to waste. As I mentioned before, we have exportable technology that can go to different territories. And we also, since we have local production, we have logistic footprint reduction. Our strength is that we are the only second life steel fiber in the market. We have competitive pricing. We're cheaper than conventional steel fibers that are in the market. Our CO2 footprint, as I mentioned before, is 29% lower than competitors. We have high quality steel, large number of filaments per unit of waste. We have local production, and we have the highest tensile strength than any other fibers. And as a summary, I think the most important is that we help reduce CO2 on every cubic meter of concrete poured in the construction industry. As far as the business model is concerned, we have two different lines through our product sales and license sales. We are based, as I mentioned, in Spain, in Toledo, and we have direct sales of our products coming from our plant that goes to all Europe and overseas. And we also have licensing plant opportunities throughout the European territory. We have, as far as our journey is concerned, we have made a lot of progress. We started the company, the company was founded in 2017 as an experimental plant. Since then, we have gone through a lot of field validations with customers, laboratory validations, design development. We started an experimental plan, and almost by the end of 2021, we ended up with a pilot plant with a capacity of 500 tons per year. And in 2022, we won the EIC Accelerator program, and with that help, we have been able to to scale up the plant from our pilot plant into a pre-industrial phase that will have a capacity of 2,000 tons per year. As far as all the technical and the certifications are concerned, we received our European technical assessment recently, which is great news for our journey. And we also have the life cycle assessment completed. We're in the final processes of receiving the CE marking and also the environmental product declaration. And from 2024 until 2030, you can see here our expansion route through licenses, as I mentioned before, and we are expecting to have an industrial plant with capacity of 5,000 tons per year by 2025. And by 2030, we want to reach more than 10 licenses. That's our global plan. And as I mentioned, the technical validation that we have done so far has been done through the Instituto Torroja Institute in Spain, Global Research and Development Institute, CEMEX Global Research and Development, Universidad Politécnica de Cataluña in Barcelona, Politecnico de Torino in Italy, and ITEC here in Spain as well. The certificates, as I mentioned in our journey, that has been issued are the European Technical Assessment and the Life Cycle Assessment, and we are in the process of getting the CE mark and the Environmental Product Declaration. As far as the market and products are concerned, we have a huge opportunity in the market on the steel fibers for concrete reinforcement. The applications that are considered to be valid now are flooring and pavements, tunnel linings, precast elements, UHPC, structural repairs, and special mortar. And here on your right side, you can find our products. We have 3 different products that differ each other because of the length. We have 15 millimeter length, average 20 millimeter length, and 25, and each of the fibers apply for different applications, the applications that I mentioned before. As far as our team is concerned, it's not because I'm part of it. We have a very powerful team. highly experienced, all engineers, highly experienced in different industries and areas. Tire recycling, equipment design and engineering, research and development, construction, sales and logistics, management, strategic planning. So we have, thanks to the combinations of our team, we have been able to advance onto the stage that we are now. To wrap up the presentation, let's collaborate together. Help us develop more second life materials that go beyond the traditional recycling, because we relocate, we reuse, we don't recycle. We're more than that. Help us connect with users that are committed to the sustainable construction. I think we're all here. That's one of the things that we have in common, all the audience that is here today. And let's create more fiber reinforced concrete solutions. I'm leaving here Ricardo Ayala's information. He's the sales director, but I'm gonna leave you all my contact information in the chat in case you want to go further any of the slides, or if you want to know more about our company or what we do. Thank you so much. I'm gonna stop sharing. If you have any questions, please let me know. How can I help you?
Thanks a lot, Valentina, for this presentation of Flexo Fibers. And like you said, don't hesitate, the audience, to ask questions, to type them down, and you'll have the contacts of Valentina and her colleagues. We'll wait 1 or 2 minutes for questions, and then
Wonderful.
Thanks again. All right. Thanks again, Valentina. And now I'm very happy to welcome Josh, who will present us EHub, which assists construction companies in weather risk management through the use of big data, machine learning, and industry-specific features, resulting in reduced project delays and costs. Hi, Josh. Thank you for being here.
Hey, folks. Thanks so much for having me. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. So I'm Josh Graham, the founder of EHab, and as has just been introduced, we're a weather risk management solution. We also have an embedded parametric insurance product, specifically focusing on construction and the built environment. I'm really passionate about this topic area, but I'm also pretty worried, as I think probably most of you are as well, because the world is really changing in a big scary way, as we all well know. Wildfires and heat waves are now becoming completely commonplace, regardless of where you live, whether that's the Arctic or in Africa or Australia. And this is also driving a huge amount of rainfall, extreme rainfall, which is causing floods and devastation pretty much everywhere as well. Of course, there are some areas that are seeing severe droughts. So this really is a global phenomenon of weather volatility, and it's something we as a society have to adapt to, as well as all of the industries that run on planet Earth. And of course, construction being one of the largest is incredibly exposed to this. So traditionally, about 10% of a construction project is weather risk. So if you scale that up to the global construction industry, that's over $1 trillion every year is washed down the drain because of weather risk. Those practices are not optimized. Now, with changing weather patterns, we're at 12%, and in many cases up to 17%, depending on location, and that is only going to get significantly worse. And so if you think about the total value of construction as the industry grows as well, you're talking trillions and trillions a year of wasted money. And so this is why we believe that climate resilience will become almost or just as important as net zero in the next 3 years. If you just focus in on the net zero transition, so all of the infrastructure that we need to actually tackle climate change, which is a huge amount of money, as McKinsey has illustrated, 275 trillion up to 2050, we estimate about 41 trillion of this is going to be spent on weather delays. Can you imagine 41 trillion? And a lot of that money can be optimized. So our mission is actually pretty small in the context of that big number, because we know how hard it is to scale up a business. So in the next 5 years, we want to help 1,000 of the biggest construction companies in the world to save them 20 billion on weather delays and to insure 100 billion of their assets to protect them against extreme delays. This is all about adapting to these new extreme normals because we have to, there is no other option. And it's also about mitigating. So can we actually reduce the cost of low carbon infrastructure so we can get to that net zero target either quicker or at least more affordably? So we already have a platform that's used today by many, many construction companies. What happens is they upload their construction plan to our platform. It analyzes all of the activities that they're going to do, and it helps them identify ways in which they can optimize and improve their plan. So construction people are making decisions every day that ultimately result in hundreds of thousands of pounds of potential loss when it comes to weather. And so our platform helps them make those decisions both in the short term, i.e. when are we going to be able to do this concrete pour, or when are we going to be able to do a crane lift in the next week, but also in the next 5 years. Okay, what type of materials are we going to use that are going to have the least amount of weather resilience or the most amount of weather resilience when we're building a certain road? So there's a lot of different decisions that our platform helps construction companies decide on. And on average, for a £1 billion portfolio, and this is based off real results from real construction companies, we help them save about 20 million per year. What we can also do is, using that analysis that we've done on their program, all they have to do is click a button, and this helps them produce a parametric insurance policy. So the idea of parametric insurance is you calculate the probability of an event occurring. So this would be, in this case, a weather delay on a construction site, and we then provide them an insurance. So if that weather delay actually occurs, then they get an automatic payment. Usually in the construction industry, insurance payments takes months or even years for the money to hit the bank account of the insured, whereas in our policy that can take hours or up to a few days. So it's much, much quicker to help them get back onto their feet and recover from those types of events much more quickly. There are lots of data providers in the market already. There are also lots of people who are specializing in weather, but are trying to do it for every single industry. So there's lots and lots of players in this market. We're the only player who are really, really focused in on construction, and to kind of double down on that construction strategy, we've integrated with all of the major players in the construction software market, because this is a big way that we can A, get leads, and B, also integrate more seamlessly into the workflows of the construction professionals that we help every day. So really the mission is to become the default weather tool in the built environment, because it's just such a big opportunity, both from the sense of solving the weather risk problem, as well as obviously a financial opportunity for us as well. So this has been the strategy that we've doubled down on. Of course, we do cold outreach, but marketplaces and resellers are where we're really targeting. So we've got an integration live with Acumen Risk. I was actually at their conference yesterday. We get a lot of leads from them that are really high converting. We work with Oracle, the biggest software provider in construction, one of the biggest software companies in the world, with Safran Risk, with Nodes and Links. We basically are starting to target all of the biggest software players in the construction industry, and this is how we're getting our software to market. So we currently have access to about 25% of the market or more, and we're continuing to double down on the strategy by working with the likes of Microsoft and Autodesk, etc. So this is our real big go-to-market strategy. The fund, the main companies we've worked with so far are some of the biggest in the UK. So Kier is the second biggest in the UK, BAM in the top 10, Costain, EKFB, one of the largest players working on the HS2 project. So one of the biggest construction projects in Europe. We've been helping them to optimize their weather risk. Balfour Beatty, the biggest in the UK, Vinci, one of the largest in the world. Pomelo, one of the largest in Canada. So we've already started to work with, basically some of the largest construction companies in the world. And within our portfolio, there's billions and billions of value that is being transacted on every day with these companies. So it's a large amount of money that we're helping to protect already. Our next stage of our strategy is to try to close this gap that's opening up from an insurance perspective. So we're going directly to global insurers and saying to them, we can model weather risk in construction better than you can. And we will take your risk that you're already underwriting on some of your existing construction projects and swap it with you. If you basically pay us that premium, we will change this into a parametric model using our modeling, which is better than yours. And we've already spoken to 3 insurers who are starting to be interested in this. And we have a few global insurers who are also interested in trying to get this product to market as well. So we have a really great engine in this sense for growth in the long term. So far this year, we've really massively grown. It's been a really, really exciting year. So our aim is really to reach that kind of Series A metrics by the end of 2024. A big driver of that has been marketplaces, as I mentioned, and also we'll start to see some of that parametric insurance revenue coming online. That's been a kind of a slow burner just because of the regulation that we've had to get in place to make that happen. But our new sales motion is fantastic in the sense that it used to take us about 10 months to close a deal. Now it's taking 3 months on average, and we're obviously continuing to try to push that average deal cycle down as much as possible. So we're really seeing that acceleration, which is fantastic. As I mentioned, we're kind of already global, so working in Canada, Brazil, Australia, as well as the UK, Ireland, and France, and with talks with construction companies in a lot of other countries as well. So really, there is no limit in terms of where our data and the value of our platform can go. It's just a matter of setting up a new country in terms of the data and the modeling, which doesn't take very long at all. We've got a really great team, quite small but very specialized. So lots of people who've worked in insurance, lots of people who've worked in modeling. So Paolo, for example, is our head of data. He's spent his entire career as a professor of machine learning and statistics, building the exact types of models that we leverage in our platform. Myself and Felipe are just incredibly passionate about making change in the world. So we have a great blend of kind of impact, enterprise, and insurance in our team. And really what I'm hoping to get out of this call is hopefully it's been interesting and exciting for anyone who maybe hasn't thought about this problem before. But of course, we're always looking for customers, potential partners, and that fundraise that we're doing later in 2024. So really happy to take any questions, and my email's in the bottom left if you want to reach out. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening.
Thank you very much, Josh. Very interesting. Thanks for presenting the EHAB. Does anyone have any questions for Josh? Like he said, you'll have his contact, so don't hesitate. All right. Thanks again, Josh. And now again, don't hesitate if you want to reach out to all the participants, the speakers, but also to our team, to Impulse Partners. We have been very delighted to have you for this innovation session focused on sustainability. We also invite you to participate if you want to share your own insights and thoughts related to the topics. We can share them to the audience, also the registered participants that could not join. And well, to sum up, because we're at the edge of our session, thanks a lot to all of our guest speakers and the very complete introductions of Shimizu Corporation and EMV Capital. And thanks to all the startups for their presentations. We'll be sharing the pitch deck presentations to all participants. Don't hesitate to take the discussions to the next step. We have more events coming soon. Our next online session will take place in July and will be focused on energy and clean tech in the construction tech sector. We will be sharing more information with you guys very soon if you want to subscribe. And we'll also have the chance to go to Tokyo for Japan Construction Week in May. We'll be joining, I see some familiar faces from Takenaka. Shimizu will be there too, of course. So very excited by that, and we'll be in Singapore for a summit in September 2024 too. All right, so thanks again to everyone who turned up in the session today, and we hope to hear from you very soon. See you all in July, we hope, for our next innovation session, and this afternoon for the North America session and the startups who will be also presenting this afternoon. Have a great end of the week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.